We're live. Hello, our nerds.
Hello.
Thank you so much for being here. It's baking night yet again. This is our second baking night ever. It's Halloween tomorrow. We just wanted to hang out and have some fun. And so, yeah, if you weren't able to join us last time, welcome. We're really excited to have you here. For the last week or two, we've been kind of blasting out the recipe that we're going to be using, but also you don't have to use that recipe if you've got like dietary restrictions, like bake something else. If you just aren't in the headspace to be making like a whole like from scratch cupcake thing, then like use a box, just come and hang out. You don't have to bake to hang with us. Yeah, it's going to be really fun. Let me know in the discussion section if you're baking, what you're baking. Are you following the red velvet recipe, or are you doing something different? I'd love to hear what your variations are. Hello to Roscoe Rose and Cool Gamer and Valerie Levin and Misty Kate. Welcome, everyone. So we've got a pretty good mix here on screen of like what we're making, right? Let's just go around and talk. So I picked the recipe / mostly I liked that the cupcakes looked like they'd been bit by a vampire. That was what I really cared about this evening. So yeah, I am following the recipe that was posted, obviously, since I'm going to be walking step by step people who are using that recipe. I made the cupcakes in advance because I panicked that I had picked something too complicated, but it was fine. I didn't. So yeah, going to be doing that. Haven't made the frosting yet, but we'll start with the cupcakes. What about you, Rachel?
So I am going to be making something different in the recipe. I'm going to be making pumpkin bread. So I got my like fancy organic pumpkin pie puree mix stuff, and we're going to throw it all in a bowl, and fingers crossed that it tastes good.
I am doing. No, I moved.
Go anyway.
Or not.
Okay, I am making the red velvet cupcakes, but mine will be from a box.
Excellent.
Same. Box.
I didn't know the box thing was an option, so now I'm kind of panicking between it. But this like angel food
Discord.
cake. So I don't know yet. I don't know what to do.
Do it from scratch, Kelly. I believe in you.
All right.
I don't think it'll be that much harder. I just didn't feel like making sure I had all the ingredients.
I have no idea if I like red velvet cake or not. I don't think I've had it before. So
chocolate, but not super intense chocolate.
Oh, that should be fine.
And it's just dyed red.
And
excellent.
Yeah. What about you, Des?
I am making it from scratch. I did not know box cake was an option. I probably would have done that. But you know what? I'm here for the challenge.
And Griswold's doing it too, so.
Yes. We've also got Meg is baking along. The Megs are
representing. Bravo! I believe in you.
Roscoe Rose said, I'm just vibing and cramming for Preptober and crying. And Griswold said, I'm baking the recipe and I'm very nervous. I think it might be beyond my skill set, but I'm going to try. It's totally not. One of my favorite things about this baker / recipe creator, Sally, is that her recipes, they're really, really well thought out. And even the things that seem kind of complicated, it's like, even if you mess it up, it's still going to come out good. Which is why I love her website. It's great. It taught me how to make croissants. So
really
yeah.
Trust anything that comes up with Sally's baking. I'm like, oh yeah, that one. Like, oh.
Yeah, absolutely. Andrew's here baking chicken for dinner.
Ooh.
So if you're going to be baking along with the recipe, just for starters, we're going to be chatting a little bit, I'm sure, but my big recommendation is to get all of your ingredients together now. So you should have your 2 eggs out and nearby. If you want to prepare those eggs, get 2 bowls and separate the eggs. So egg white from yolk. Does anyone need me to like go deeper into how to do that? Are we feeling good about separating the eggs?
I can also do a demonstration at some point because one of my hidden talents is that I can crack an egg with one hand without breaking the yolk or getting shell in the bowl.
Ooh.
I am very well versed in egg cracking.
I can crack an egg, but I will get shell in the bowl every time. Every single time. I'm getting really good at getting shell out of a bowl.
That's Megan's talent.
Yeah.
I feel like this is what our chat today is just going to be like clang, crash, bang, and then with everyone mixing. Also,
Eventually, a smoke alarm goes off.
Sorry, Kelly?
Eventually, a smoke alarm goes off.
I'm like, how much salt is like a 1/4 teaspoon? I don't know. I'm just going to measure with my heart. Like, seems about right. So what's everybody's gonna be this year for Halloween?
I'm gonna be Wanda from WandaVision in
Nice.
her like Halloween episode outfit. But I did wear it to Disney World, so instead of it being a leotard, it's like a dress.
Well, yeah, I guess some people may have already partied. I already partied. So either what are you being or what were you this last weekend for
I'm
Halloween?
34, Rachel.
So you can still dress up.
I think that was more a comment that she isn't partying.
I have like a Halloween shirt for tomorrow. I have spiderweb earrings. I have a tiny little witch hat. I have costume things.
Perfect.
I would also recommend if you're following along, make sure your butter is out and softened. If you forgot to take it out and it is cold and hard as a rock, just pop it in the microwave for a little bit. Just make sure it's nice and soft, but ideally not melted.
So turn your power down if you pop it in the microwave.
Yeah. The big secret to doing cakes really well is that you just really want everything room temperature. Eggs, any milk you're putting in. If you can have it all be room temperature, that is what makes it happiest.
Softening butter in the microwave, I find like at full power, like 7 seconds is the most. Like 5 seconds even is good. Like you don't want to do more than that.
Yeah. Do like 7 and flip it a couple times.
Yeah.
So yeah, you'll have the 2 eggs that have been separated. Keep both. You're going to need the whites and the yolks. And then you need your half a stick of butter. So like 4 tablespoons of butter, a 1/4 cup. And just double checking the recipe to make sure I don't lead anyone astray.
Is there any reason I shouldn't be preheating my oven now? I just did it because I thought of it.
That's great. You can preheat your oven to 350. Are Canadian ovens in Celsius?
Sorry, what did you say?
I said, are Canadian ovens in Celsius?
Yes, they are.
Don't like
Well,
that.
you can switch it. I think the one that I have is currently in Fahrenheit, but they do make them come in Celsius. Yeah.
I feel like, does it have to have like multiple like decimal points for it?
I don't think so. I think it just
There's-
rounds up.
Because in Celsius, there's not that big of a or there's a big difference between like two numbers. Or, like,
Yeah.
Mine is Fahrenheit, so
yeah.
a lot of our stuff comes in both.
Yeah.
Like our thermostat's usually Fahrenheit.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be harder to get it to the accurate temperature in Celsius.
Yeah, maybe that's not true. Maybe my thermostat is not Celsius. I've had it both ways.
And then I do have one recipe deviation. Once everyone's got all their stuff out and like good to go, let me know. My big deviation is that I like to, there's like a dry ingredients step where you mix together all the dry ingredients. And I like to do that first because I like to just have everything I'm going to need right there rather than like, oh no, now I got to run and do this, but this one thing's already ready. Because dry ingredients will sit just fine. Missy Kate was Chrissy from Stranger Things.
Nice.
I saw this family at Target yesterday that was dressed up as Chrissy and why am I blanking on his name? Eddie. I watched it. I know that. And they had this kid who was dressed like Dustin, and it was amazing.
I was very seriously considering being Eddie from Stranger Things, and then I was like, I don't really want to cut bangs. Because when I made that decision, I was like, I'll get bangs, and then I can be Eddie. I didn't want to. I just screwed them out.
I will be Dr. Ellie Sattler from Jurassic Park. And
Yes.
my husband's going to be Dr. Grant, and then our son's going to be a dinosaur. So.
Yes. I support.
This is the first year my family did not go matching.
Yeah.
My child said he wanted to be a pumpkin, and I didn't want to match a pumpkin. So
Yeah, my nephew is someone from PJ Masks, which is like the one of his shows that I've never even watched. I'm like, what?
yeah.
This is the whisking one, right?
Yep. You'll eventually also need the paddle one if you want to fetch that as well.
Matt walked in the room, so he knows what's there. There's not one of the ones stored in there.
It's been like interesting, like scrolling through TikTok and seeing Halloween costumes and like what costumes I've seen multiple times at this point. Like just yesterday, within like 15 minutes, I saw 2 different people dressed up as Nicole Kidman from the AMC
I've seen so many Nicole Kidman.
I saw 2 people do that specific Nicole Kidman, and then I've seen 2 different couples do Gollum and the Ring as the couple's costume.
Did you see on TikTok the sexy Eye of Sauron?
Yes.
Yes. I love that so much.
This was a while ago, but did anyone see the Wii remote kid on TikTok?
No.
It was when there was that trend that was like, I bet you were like a princess when you were a kid, and then it's like I was a literal Wii remote, and it was like this Halloween costume that was like a Wii remote.
Oh my god, that's
and it
hilarious.
went, that's my cousin. So
Really?
yeah, I thought it was like Chloe.
Okay, so if you're all caught up, I would recommend mixing together your dry ingredients in a bowl that is not the main bowl you want your batter to be in. You can mix it by hand. You don't need to use the handheld or the stand mixer for it. So that is going to be your all-purpose flour, your cornstarch, your baking soda, your cocoa powder, and your salt, which I'm just now realizing I forgot to put in mine. So they are gonna be sweet.
I just looked at this box and realized it bakes 2 dozen cupcakes.
Mm.
And I
You
only
can't
have
bring
one
them
cupcake.
here tomorrow because we also have a dozen and a half cupcakes.
Dang it. Well, and I also only have one cupcake pan, so am I gonna have to make 2 batches?
Yeah, it's gonna be me too.
Why would you make a cake mix? Make 2 dozen cupcakes.
All right. For anyone who's following along in the comments, Nicole and Meg, let us know how you're going, how it's going. Are you caught up? Is this a good speed to be describing the steps? Just let me know. Helen said, I'm obsessed with Megan's lipstick. Thank you. I tried a bolder color than I typically wear for spooky season. It's like a very normal lipstick color, but it's bold for me. Roscoe Rose is going as a tiefling. Fun. Meg currently mixing the dry ingredients. Excellent.
I could also hear Kat Brecker screaming.
Yep, that was Cat Brecker. Oh, you little menace.
Filming in front of a live studio audience.
You say hi to the people?
Mm,
Okay, you can go now.
no, stay.
Go wash my hands.
We were walking. We were walking around our neighborhood this morning and passed this couple who had like a pretty big dog on a leash. And then they called, and behind them, a cat just came out of the woods and was following them on the walk. It was amazing. That's a good question. I don't know what the lipstick is. It's from Walmart. It's a cheap brand. I'll check and let you know later. If you're watching this, once again, thank you so much for being here. We're really excited to have you. If you missed last week, we made a Discord. We've been talking for a long time about wanting to have something like tangible outside of YouTube where like, I feel like everyone who comments here they contribute a lot to our weekly chats, but there is still the weird dynamic of like, our faces are on a screen and you're in a chat. And so we wanted something that was like a more balanced way to just like chat with people, and just it feels like we've made a lot of friendships through all of this. And so being able to have like a chill space to chat with people was something that was important and led to us making it. So let us know. I recognize a lot of you from last week, or I remember a lot of you being here last week. So let us know if you weren't. You can either give us your Discord name if you want to be added to it, or we can, I think we can get a link to people as well that could be like valid for this chat. Yeah, does anyone else have any Discord thoughts? Did I describe that all right? Anything I missed? Emma's the only one not muted. Give me your thoughts.
I did have to be friends with people to invite them. I don't know if I can change something in it. So if you gave us your name last week and you haven't been invited yet, you need to accept my friend request.
Kelly's just forcing you to be her friend.
Yeah.
We should be able to send a link. I don't know how to do it, but I've made public.
It wouldn't, but the link, like I could make a link to send to friends, is what it said. So I was like, that's weird.
We should be able to make the Discord public.
I don't
know how.
But I don't know if we want to
Yeah,
public.
'cause I know I've done it where I just took the link out.
All right, I guess you have to be Kelly's friend then. Sorry, I tried to save you all.
We're trapped, but there's still time for the rest of you.
What's Kelly's username? Can I just give people your username, Kelly?
Yes, I definitely don't know it off the top of my head, but you are welcome
Okay.
to share it if you can figure it out.
I'm
I
putting
realized
Kelly's
my camera
username.
wasn't on, but I was like about to cry. I was very frustrated.
Oh no.
I better now.
Crying while
My
baking
tears are
is
still not
very
out of the
acceptable.
question, though.
We've
What
all
did you
cried
say?
while cooking or baking before, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely. Okay. So once your dry ingredients are all mixed, let me know.
Here, I wonder if I can do like this is my, here we go, my bowl of batter. We get an action shot in there.
Yeah, Andrew mentioned you can do it without being friends. I think, like Des and Kelly were saying, I think it's because it's technically a private Discord. We're not really looking to make it a huge server or to use it as like a platform like this channel technically is. So yeah, but we can definitely open it up if anyone's struggling to get into it. We don't want that.
Or really doesn't want to be my friend.
Or does not want to be Kelly's friend. We won't blame you. We will wonder. Okay.
These cupcakes better be freaking worth it. That's all I have to say.
Say all the dry
I
ingredients
Really
one more
hope
time.
so. The dry ingredients are 1 1/3 cups of flour, 1/4 cup of cornstarch, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, 4 teaspoons of unsweetened cocoa powder, and 1/4 teaspoon salt. Okay, for Nicole and Meg, your dry ingredients are all mixed. Your next step is going to involve your hand mixer or your stand mixer. And this sounds like the most intense part, but it is truly very easy. So you're going to take your egg whites and you're going to dump them into the bowl that's attached to your stand mixer or to the bowl you want to use for it if you're using just a hand mixer. And once you've got that dumped in, you're just gonna just turn it. Don't go like 0 to 150 because it'll just fly everywhere, but like ease your way up just to full speed. And what you're aiming for is stiff peaks. What this means is like the longer it spins, the eggs are gonna start getting foamy and they're gonna react. And if you did this for a long time, you'd end up with like what you would make meringue out of if you added a couple things. But what you're doing here is you're just like whipping a ton of air into the eggs and they're going to be used to help make the cake fluffier. So it'll probably take 2-3 minutes for it to reach that point. It's fine if you stop to check partway. So if you pull the whisk up, it should just kind of like hang off the edge, just kind of poke out. Yes, I can link to Sally's Baking Addiction. So I just put the link. This is the cupcakes that we're making that I just put in the chat. I've made at least a dozen things from this website and have never had anything go disastrously wrong. Her recipes are always very thorough. They have pictures, she has videos. It's great.
Also, I have some nice batter that I'm gonna try not to pour on my laptop, but some nice pumpkin batter that's nice and orange.
TJD said Stiff Peaks is now the name of my nano project. It could work for a lot of genres. Also, hi, I don't think I've seen your username in a while. You're welcome back. Maybe you've been lurking, but good to see you.
Yeah, is anybody how's the nanoing coming for people? The nano prep.
Not good.
Very exciting. I bought this novel planner. I bought the PDF version, and it's great. It has like scene like organizers and like plot organizers, and like it was an impulsive purchase because my friend who's also doing Nana sent it to me, so we both bought it. But I'm excited to like I have a whole like binder for my project. I paid someone $5 on Fiverr to make me a cover to give me motivation. So
Nice.
I love that.
I was like, you know what, this is worth $5 to look at it, and I'm like, hey, this looks like a real thing. Maybe I'll actually finish it.
Yeah. My big problem is that Taylor Swift's Midnights, all the photos led me to believe this would be a 70s album. It's not. And my world is all 70s aesthetic. So that's causing some problems. Because you know what it is a lot like is my rom-com. So
I can't believe that we were like so worried that the novel was not going to fit the album was not going to fit my nano idea. I got a solid like 3 or 4 tracks of it.
Yeah.
I'm like, this goes on the playlist. I vibe with it. Meanwhile, we were so sure Megan would be fine.
I've never been more confident about anything in my life. Why are those the photos? They look amazing. Why were those the photos?
I got a whole like text from my sister because she has the one photo with the Wurlitzer. My sister apparently loves the Wurlitzer. And why was there only one song on the album with the Wurlitzer? I said, I don't know, Miranda. I don't know. Sorry.
Okay, how's the egg white situation going?
I feel like it produced stiff peaks.
Perfect. That's what we like to hear.
I'm realizing now, in quite a worried way, that that I have a lot of batter. So I really hope this doesn't rise too much and like explode. So I might put this on a baking sheet. I'm not making the cupcakes for anybody that's coming in late. So you probably don't have this problem. But I made a loaf and there's like a lot of batter in here.
I feel like that's normal for pumpkin bread. I feel like pumpkin bread does not rise a lot.
Okay.
Last time I made it.
Huh. So I kind of hope it does, though. I want to see what happens.
I feel like, and obviously I was using a different recipe, but I feel like last time I made it, like it was about to that level and it was fine.
Okay, good. Just in case, we'll put it on a baking sheet. I don't really want to scrub my oven, so.
Joe Catherine said, I have had an unfun weekend, so I don't have the energy to bake, but I really wanted to participate, so I made a 30-second mug cake.
Perfect.
Nice.
Honestly, wise decision.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm going rogue. I'm putting my loaf in the oven right now. So here we go. So this has to take like forever.
We have a request to see Kelly's egg whites. This was the one part that I was like, oh, because I'm making the cupcakes early so I can have timing down. I can't show people what this looks like, which is a bummer. Kelly's gone. Maybe forever.
I was having doubts about the softness of my butter.
Oh.
The people want to see your egg whites.
The stand mixer bowl is so big, I don't know how to pull this off.
I'm just trying to figure out, because people made things like this before there were electric mixers. And I'm just trying to figure out what could have possibly inspired someone to beat the ever-loving crap out of an egg so much that it like turned frothy without a mixer. Because I don't know if you've ever done something like this by hand, but it sucks.
Okay, people had a lot more free time back then, and like some of that stuff coming out of a cow. We should try that. Like all of this is just
I feel like they probably were a little bit stronger than us because they were like doing farm work. But also there was like that in between, like before electric, they had the ones that were like the hand crank, right?
No, that's true.
Like that would have taken some of the
Yeah, I don't know how far this goes back, but
right. Who was the first person to whisk an egg white?
Even with the electric mixer, sometimes I'm just like, how did someone ever get to the point where they're like, I'm gonna beat an egg this much to figure out that it can do these things? Because I would not look at an egg and think, if I beat an egg that much,
Just the white part.
Just the white part, right? Like none of this makes sense to me. How someone figured this out.
Jilted pioneer woman angrily beating eggs until producing unexpected results.
I feel like if someone was just like baking, but also having an argument and then just like not paying attention. And then suddenly they look down, they're like, oh my God, I've been beating this egg for like 20 minutes and it looks really different.
That's how they figured out they could beat cream into butter.
Yeah.
So Kelly, you just dumped the egg whites into a separate bowl and it looked exactly like mine did when I did just that. So were you able to see that, Nicole? Let us know. Perfect.
I'm going to start doing some dishes now. So I'm just going to move you guys over here. See my whole kitchen.
Okay, so next up, once the eggs are ready, if you made the eggs in your KitchenAid or stand mixer bowl, you'll want to transfer it to a different bowl because those are just going to hang out until the very last step. So set those aside. And then next up is the butter. You're going to stick your quarter cup of butter in the stand mixer bowl and use the paddle attachment now. Perfect. And then just beat that until it's, you know, kind of smooth looking, and then add the sugar as well once it's kind of smoothed up some. Joe Catherine asks, does anyone watch Miss Crookcombe on the Victorian Way? She does recipes from a long time ago. There was, I can't remember if it was like the first season after Mary Berry left the Great British Bake Off. It might have been the first or second, but one of those seasons after she left, they did like the history of the bakes they were doing for the technical bake. And I don't think it was well received, but I loved it. I was like kind of bummed they stopped doing it. So once your butter is beaten and you've added the sugar, just beat it for another couple minutes. I know your internet's coming in and out, Des, but let me know how it's going for you, either verbally or in chat.
Also, just thinking something Megan said about the technical baking stuff. If you guys haven't checked them out yet, you should look up Tasting History on YouTube. His name's Max, and he does he like recreates recipes from across history, and it's so interesting because he'll go like ancient Roman steak sauce, and then he'll talk about like the history of like beef in Rome. Or then he'll do one of like, oh, here's a Victorian recipe for sponge cake, and then he'll do like a little history lesson on how sponge cake became a thing, but then also like he bakes the cake. It's so cool. So highly recommend Tasting History. I watch it every Tuesday.
I also think if anyone watching this is having any struggles with the egg whites, I don't think it's going to be the end of the world if you can't do it. Or if you just are looking at it and you're like, absolutely not, it's not happening. I don't think it will ruin the cupcakes or anything. They might just be a little less fluffy. Okay, so once you've got that sugar in with the butter and it has been mixing for a couple minutes, you'll also want to add in, let me double check this to make sure I'm not lying, the oil. It's just some like vegetable or canola oil. And this is probably a good time too to use a spoon or a rubber spatula to scrape down the sides a little. But that's the next step.
If I could only keep one tool for the kitchen, it would be a rubber spatula. I love rubber spatulas so
They're
much.
amazing. Grab my bowl. How are the box cakes going for people?
My first batch of cupcakes are in the oven right now.
Excellent.
I hate you a little bit right now.
Yeah, hearing all these instructions Megan's giving is really like validating my decision to use box.
I think for me, it was more almost yesterday I was going to the grocery store and I was like, I don't want to buy buttermilk. I don't have other recipes that use it. Oh, I guess it's time to take them out.
Buttermilk pro tip for people. If you don't feel like buying buttermilk, you can just add some lemon juice to milk. I'm sure it's not exactly the same, but it's functionally the same. Just let it sit for a little bit. Okay, once you've got that oil in, the next step is, also with the oil, the butter might kind of look like fragmented. That's okay. Next up, add your egg yolks. So not the eggs that you've whipped up, but the yolks, and your vanilla. And it's really just smooth sailing from here, just kind of adding everything in. Butter, sugar, oil, all mixed for Griswold. All right, so next up is your egg yolks and vanilla. And then if you are kind of zooming ahead after that, you can add in your vinegar and however much food coloring you want so that it's the color you want it to be. Unless you're like me and you realize you actually have almost no food coloring, then they're going to come out this slightly reddish brown. But they do still taste okay.
I don't recommend making these from scratch if you don't have a mixer.
Oh no. I really, if it's being like, okay, if it's being a total pain in your ass, I think it'll be okay if you just like don't bother whipping it.
I mean, it looks good so far. I mean, I even got my eggs to soft peaks by hand, so.
You are a god. Okay. Let me know once you all have gotten through like putting the food coloring in.
I'm putting the vinegar in now. And then I'll put
Perfect.
the coloring. How red is too red?
No such thing.
They're vampire cupcakes.
Yeah. Just, remember it might make other things look funny if it's a lot of red. Don't be alarmed.
Okay, so I need everyone's suggestions. So I was also going to make soup tonight, and then I realized I only have like 3/4 of a thing of chicken stock. So I was gonna make like a big pot of soup. So what do you think? I guess I just add water, but that's like not delicious because usually I put 2 of these in a giant stock pot, and I don't have that much. So I got this can of diced tomatoes that would add water and liquid. So like. What do you guys think? What do you guys
have any
suggest?
aromatic vegetables? Do you have like any
Oh, I do.
onions
I'm gonna
or
put like
rosemary or celery?
True. I was gonna put rosemary in it, and I
You
have
make a
carrots,
vegetable
potatoes, onions, and chicken that I was gonna make, and beans. So
Yeah, I think it'll be fine. I was gonna say the same thing. Like, do the water and maybe just add like a little bit more of those things than you normally would, just to, like
okay. Use water. Okay. I forgot. I was like, I got all the ingredients for soup, but I did not get the stock base.
Especially since you're adding chicken, like you're effectively making chicken broth if you cook chicken in water. So
True.
Okay, once you've got are we food coloring ready to hear what's next?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So next up is, double check to make sure I'm not lying. So Sally gives an extended thing you can do. But honestly, if you just do like half of your dry and then add about half of the buttermilk so that it doesn't get too like thick and become a pain to mix. And then actually do half your dry, all your buttermilk, and then the other half of your dry ingredients. And you should be fine. I don't think you need to separate it into 3.
Is this red enough, do you guys think? Should I make it redder?
Wow.
Redder.
Yeah.
Red.
Redder. Ah! I
Redder.
I might have like accidentally poured out like half of that
No.
on my laptop. Lovely. Love that for me. I'm gonna quickly grab some paper towels. I'll be back.
Oh no.
Feverishly trying not to get sugar in my keys.
Oh no. I was like panicking. I was like, oh my God, I've chosen something that is going to take forever. It's already almost 9. And I forgot that we start at 8 now.
It's all gonna be
It's
okay.
not dead.
Yeah, I'm not worried now. Oh no. Okay. So once you've got all of that good to go, the only ingredient you should have left that you haven't added is the egg whites that you whipped up earlier. If you realize you've forgotten something, now is the time to add it in before you add your egg whites. It will not ruin them if you've forgotten anything. So do that now, and then let me know once y'all are ready, and I will walk you through the egg white part.
I'm excited for this. All I know about folding things in is just Creek making fun of not knowing how to fold
Fold
things
in
in.
the cheese.
Tim Griswold had a question. Did we catch that?
The dry ingredients and the buttermilk into the same bowl with like the butter and the sugar and the vinegar and all of that. Yes.
I'm so like in my own like doing the thing that I'm worried about catching things. Take this moment to put things in my dishwasher.
And Griswold, ideally you'll do like half your dry, then your buttermilk, then the other half of the dry ingredients. That way you don't accidentally get the mixture too thick, because it is kind of a pain to unthicken it. But it still wouldn't be the end of the world, and it would still taste good, I hope.
The nice thing about doing this virtually is no one will ever be able to taste whatever you come up with. So we can all just
All looks.
believe that this is what Megan wanted us to do. This is what it's supposed to be.
And if it tastes bad, I can lie. I can be like, I don't know what you guys did wrong. Mine tastes great. Okay. So the final step is going to be folding in your egg whites. I have my frosting here. The gist of folding things in is just you want to like really gently kind of go under and flip over. The goal is to try and not knock out air from the egg whites. However, knocking out some air is inevitable because you need the egg whites to be fully mixed. Like you don't want to see them. You don't want to see chunks of them. You'd be better off just knocking the air out, in my opinion, rather than having big chunks of egg in your cupcake. So yeah, you're just going to kind of fold it in like that. You don't have to go as slow as I did in that, but fold it in until you can't see it anymore. And then it's good to go in the cupcake pan. Don't forget to line your pan if you are into that, which I am.
If you're into that sort of thing. Is that how bakers flirt with each other?
Yeah, like line your pan if you're into it. Oh my God.
Well, I recently found out that the wax paper that I bought does not do well in my oven. So.
Oh no.
Yep.
That's because you're not supposed to put wax paper in your oven. You want parchment paper. There's a difference.
That's probably why.
Mm,
Oh, that
I did not know
explains
that.
why my oven was smoking.
Oh no.
That would be the wax.
Oh, dear. I mean, hey, I learned not to do it again.
I feel like I'm folding it wrong.
I don't think you are. I think you're doing great.
How long did it take for yours to disappear?
It took a little bit,
Okay.
like 3 minutes-ish, 3-4.
Okay, good.
And if it's like really not going away at all, you can like squish it a little, push the paddle like back up towards the wall of the bowl, and that'll help kind of force it if it's not working at all.
What is the best way to get it out of my giant mixing bowl and into the cupcake tray?
I used an ice cream scoop and just hoped for the best.
Okay.
I make cupcake scoops. I always say I'm gonna get them, but I don't bake that often, so probably not.
I'm not the biggest like cake person. So I always love the idea of having all this stuff for the like 3 times a year that I make a cake. But then I can never actually
Cooking
do
is
it.
more my jam than baking. I love cooking. Baking is not my forte.
I think I've decided I'm a bread person. I love to make bread.
My husband is a bread person.
I tried making a challah by scratch and I hated every second of it. So oh no, I'll make the bread anytime soon. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do a full Shabbat dinner. I'm gonna make this challah. And like an hour and a half into it, I was like, something has gone terribly wrong.
It's hard. Like Matt does them just because we enjoy bread. And like he does it well, but it takes a long time. So it's not something we do often. Like it's because I'm also team bread person. And if I can make something in my Dutch oven or my bread maker, quarter of the time, that's usually what we're gonna do.
If your cupcakes are all divvied up, feel free to pop them in the oven. I set my timer for like 17 minutes and it ended up taking 3 minutes longer than that. So yeah, I always aim lower just in case they cook fast. And if anyone else is doing a box but making the frosting. Oh yeah, what?
Does altitude affect, like, was there altitude instructions? Because like I am a mile above sea level.
I don't see any.
It's okay if there weren't. I just realized I didn't ask.
No, I didn't see any.
My batter looks really good, so hopefully we'll see.
So it's
Whenever there is, it's typically like when I do box cake, it's like add an extra tablespoon of flour or something.
Yeah, altitude makes a difference.
This is really bringing home for me that there are some word nerds that I have every confidence in your ability to like do the domestic thing, make the excellent food. Oh, Dennis talking to me. And also the like line of which word nerds I believe in these things and which ones I'm a little more iffy on is definitely divided by country. Team Canada, this may not be our strong suit.
Okay. And once you've got it in the oven, feel free to break for a couple of minutes. But if you want to just knock out the cooking part and be done with it, and you are making the frosting is much easier. Just throw it all in a bowl and bzzz.
I'll do the butter and the cream cheese first.
I'm doing it all at once. I'm doing it all at once. It's soft as anything. So no laws. Did all the work on the cupcakes. No thought going into the frosting. Yeah, just mix it all up and it's good to go.
I one time tried to make cream cheese frosting with cream cheese that had not been softened enough. It's a mistake I'll never make again. It's extras.
They say
I did
not to soften it in the
appreciate
microwave,
you
but, like,
reminding
20
us
seconds
to.
on high, like, does the trick.
Yeah. Yeah, I was saying earlier the butter like 7 seconds is softening it in the microwave. But yeah. Learn my lesson. Soften it in some way because it will not work this time. What were you gonna say, Karen?
Oh, I appreciated your reminder to get stuff out of the fridge and soften it. I usually do it in the microwave, but it was nice just to be like, yep, this is already soft because Emma reminded me.
This cake batter smells so good.
Okay, I know the invention of smell-o-vision would only be used for evil, but I kind of wish that you guys could smell my house right now because it smells like pumpkins, but then it also smells like soup. So this is pretty nice. I like this a lot.
I'm excited about the cupcakes, but I low-key wish I was making pumpkin bread too.
Well, Sally's baking addiction is a great
Yeah.
recipe.
So, Rachel, I feel like all you need is like a pot of apple cider simmering on the stove, and you have like the fall
Ooh.
trifecta of scents.
That's a good idea, but I have no more apples, unfortunately.
It's okay because pumpkins are like a fall food and not a Halloween specific food. So like I can make them like pumpkin bread after Halloween. Not that there was anything stopping me, even if it was like a Halloween food, but it'll still feel seasonal in November.
Okay, so I was at the grocery store and I was like, oh, I better pick up some pumpkin. And then I got home and I realized that I already had a can of pumpkin, but the can of pumpkin that I picked up from Walmart is massive. So looks like I'll be making a lot of pumpkin bread this year.
Or do you want my pumpkin soup recipe?
Oh, yes, please. Definitely send that to me.
You might have to make some dairy substitutions.
That's okay. Non-dairy milks have come a long way. I definitely can.
Well, it's got like evaporated milk in it, but I'm almost, and I've never done this, but I'm almost sure you could swap it out for like coconut milk.
Okay, sure. Yeah. There's like pumpkin coconut curries and stuff. That works.
Yeah, like in my head, I see no reason that wouldn't work.
Okay, cool.
Curried pumpkin soup. I'm not signed into like our like StreamYard admin account, but if someone wants to put the pumpkin soup in the link after.
Oh, sure.
Put it in the Discord too.
Yeah. Because I only have
Baking
access to a
Night
private chat right
channel.
now.
Yay! Meg's and Nicole's cupcakes are in the oven. Okay, Okay, are our box mix comrades decorating your cupcakes, or are you just frosting it?
Undecided. I have like piping stuff, but I A, don't know that I feel that ambitious, and B, I don't really have like cupcake size. Like usually you want kind of a bigger tip for cupcakes.
I have non-piping alternatives because it's just 2 dots of jam on a
Yeah.
cupcake that has frosting on it. So you don't have to do a piping bag if you don't feel like it. But you also don't have to do any of it if you're not feeling it.
I am definitely doing the vampire decoration. They're so cute.
I made my first ever jam this morning.
Yes.
So
Love making
my
jam.
vampire bites are going to be a little purpley, but it's raspberry jam.
This is why I see you all as so very domestic. I've not made jam. That is not something I've ever even thought to do.
I watch a lot of only the Great British Baking Show. I don't watch any other cooking show, just that one. And I really love following directions. Like, I'm really good at that. Don't ask me to just do anything from the power of my brain only, though. I can guess, but I'm not there yet.
Yeah, the pumpkin soup recipe is on the Discord now. So
Fantastic. Thank you.
Excellent.
also, if you are like me and hate mushrooms with a burning passion, you don't have to put the mushrooms in it.
I want.
Put extra mushrooms in.
You can also do that. Megan and I basically share like a brain cell, we've realized, but the biggest dividing thing between us is in fact that Megan loves mushrooms and I hate them.
Maybe that's more mushrooms for you, Megan. So
Yeah.
Exactly. It's the only positives here for me.
I am also a non-mushroom household. Every mushroom I've ever eaten tastes like rubbery dirt. So
I
And it's
hate
amazing.
everything about mushrooms. I don't like the way they look. I don't like the way they taste. I don't like the way they smell. I don't like the texture. The name mushroom, in fact, kind of twigs me out. So, like, it's just all around a lost cause for me. But you don't have to put them in the soup, so.
Bless. Yeah, I already kind of liked mushrooms, and then I read that Merlin Sheldrake book about fungus. I'm all in. But I did read, what's that one that you just read, Kelly, that I also read? The
It's a Just
All of the
Kingfisher
House
one.
of Usher retelling.
Yeah.
What Moves the Dead?
That sounds right.
What Moves the Dead? That made me doubt if I liked mushrooms anymore.
I think Mexican Gothic just really reiterated that I don't like mushrooms. Yeah.
I was fine with Mexican Gothic. That was horrific in a way that I was like, you know what? The mushrooms were right. They were onto something. They were horrific, but they had a reason. What Moves the Dead? I didn't like their reason enough. Mostly, there's just this one scene involving hair that I won't spoil in case anyone in the chat decides to read it. I think about it all the time. I don't get like in horror novels that often, but that did it to me. That was a big old note.
I went on a date recently where they were talking about like, oh, like, what do you love to read and whatever fantasy stuff. And one thing that came up, I was like, oh, well, I love like cursed forest. And they were like, interesting. Like, yeah, like a sentient cursed forest. Like I love that kind of thing. And the look they gave me, like, I don't think I'm getting a second date. But I was like, excuse you, I love
that. Is very common. Thank you.
I was like, I feel like I love a cursed sentient forest. I love some like creepy, weird nature fairy magic. Like that's pretty in vogue nowadays.
Yeah,
it's unreasonable.
Totally.
Yeah.
Is this the date with the person who had another literary conversation?
No.
I'll be disappointed. Okay.
No. Thank goodness.
That's fair. We would have expected better.
Yeah. No. No, this person's not a bookworm, unfortunately.
That can always be fixed.
Oh, absolutely. I can turn anybody. I feel like if you just hang out around me for long periods of time, you're going to get like indoctrinated into a book blogger world. And you will read something. Like, also, I like Joe Catherine said, mushrooms are terrifying. They are not plants. They break
walls. I like that I started some mushroom discourse tonight. I'm living for that.
Also, and Griswold, Nicole is here for a Cursed Forest. Thank you very much. They're absolutely wonderful.
Does anyone remember forever ago the like book Twitter having the whole thing about beets?
No.
I am trying to remember the specifics, but it was very like
I remember this
teen anti-beet, and it was just like all these cat people on book Twitter like, do you like beets? Do you hate beets? What's your stance on beets?
I remember that.
I have a lot of feelings about beets actually, because I started college studying archaeology, and I took a class where they asked as an assignment for us to be an archaeologist and dig through our own garbage cans. And I told everyone in that apartment I was digging through the trash that day. Like, please don't throw away anything gross. I had a roommate who threw away a whole can of beets, and she didn't even just throw the can away. She dumped the beets in and then tossed the can on top of it.
No.
I've never willingly eaten a beet since.
It was actually me. I did that. No, it wasn't me. We know who it was. As soon as you said in college I was an archaeology major, I knew where the story was going.
Exactly where it was going.
Because I've heard this grievance.
I've held the grudge to this day. She's otherwise a very cool person, and I do like her very much. But I will never forgive, and I will never forget. How are we doing on time in the oven?
I still have almost 20 minutes left.
Damn. Hi, friend. How's it going? Are you filling in for Emma? Yeah.
I'm the star of this show now.
You really are.
You got some thoughts about books? Yeah.
Frosting on my face.
You need to go to bed.
Cats, kids, and cupcakes, quality entertainment. Absolutely.
My cat is still a kitty. He's like probably still under 6 months old. And I love that he loves to cuddle. He loves to cuddle maybe a little too much. He also like can't just like sit on my lap. He's like, if we are in contact, he's like, I need my face to be touching your face.
Oh.
He also does this thing I love where he knows he's not allowed to like bite me. But it's, I guess, so tempting that he'll sometimes just like put his mouth on my skin and then just slowly open his mouth until I push him away. It's like just to see how far he can get, like he knows he's not supposed to, but it's just so tempting. So I hope he grows out of that.
Oh, so here's something fun I'm doing this week. I got a new job, and I'll be starting it on Tuesday. And so now I'm going to be working in publishing.
Yes.
I'm really excited. So I'm making soup and pumpkin bread to bring to work. Actually, I don't have to do it. I work remote now. Haha. Very excited. So maybe y'all will see more for me. So yes, very exciting.
And
Yeah.
extremely well deserved, given how much work you've put into the book community.
Thanks. Yeah. I just feel like I've been just like pure stress for like 1 month. And now I'm like, fun stuff. All right, cool.
This is not my neatest cupcake frosting job. But
Cream
they
cheese
are
frosting is hard,
Ooh.
dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
Not-
it's soft actually. That's the problem.
Yeah. This one's a little too soft to be like a very nice shape. And admittedly, I don't know anything about decorating a cake. I've been winging it every single time. If only there was like a video-based platform where I could like be taught by someone who knows how to do it.
I lost all my packing bags in the move, so I'm using a Ziploc bag. The cord is cut out of it.
I have some come over.
All right, cupcakes are out.
Excellent. They will need to cool before you put your frosting on. But now is a good time because cupcakes don't take that long to cool to make your frosting if you have not yet.
I think to make a frosted pumpkin bread, but maybe I should. I have icing sugar around here somewhere.
Yeah.
Cream cheese frosting and pumpkin bread would work.
Ooh.
I was about to say this won't work because you can't have dairy, but cream cheese frosting would be great.
Oh, yeah.
I appreciate the sentiment.
R.I.P.
My bad. Apologies.
Okay.
As a kid, we always just like spread cream cheese on like slices of pumpkin bread.
Ooh.
Trixie, in November we're doing all write-ins, right?
Yes, we are.
Excellent.
Excitement.
Yeah, there's over yonder, that pink thing, that's a chair that he jumped up on the back of. It is a solid, like, 4 feet away, 5 feet away from me, probably. And I think he was trying to calculate if he could jump from the top of the chair to me, since I wouldn't let him climb on me. So he did fortunately decide not to do that.
It would have been cool if he pulled it off, though.
He did one time. I wasn't quite this far away, but I was probably like 3 feet away from the chair and like holding a cup of something. And he just like flung himself at me. And it was very much like that scene in Brooklyn Nine-Nine when Jake just like meets himself at Terry and is like, Terry will catch me. It was a lot like that.
I guess it's a good
R.I.P.
thing.
his mug. I watched that like 3 days ago.
I guess it's a good thing that you named him after Kaz and not Inej.
Yeah.
Because Inej could have done it.
I don't know. I don't feel like the name is really an indicator of the personality, because here's the that's actually dumb. He is not a smart little dude.
He's a
But he does
baby.
look like when he's
Time.
wearing gloves, and that works.
I've now successfully destroyed our kitchen, and we have Emma and her family and one of my husband's coworkers is coming with her kid as well. So I've wrecked the kitchen just in time for it to be full of guests.
Perfect. You're
Yeah.
making it ready for them.
That's
Yeah,
how you ensure that people don't come over to your house again.
but you have to be invited to your place. Let's see here.
I'm trying so hard to clean as I go because I am just not a naturally clean as I go person. And people I live with would like me to be. So this has been my practice. Usually, if I try to clean as I go, I will forget that I'm doing a thing. And like, so I'll leave something in the oven or leave it mixing too long or whatever. But here I have you guys to be like, this is what you're actually doing.
I did it!
So cute.
Do you want
Also,
more
sort of-
randoms?
Sort of related. I'm so excited that vampires are making a comeback. Like, hell yeah.
Right.
I'm ready for it.
I fear this means curtains on my vampire book that I have just barely begun thinking about subbing, but
Do it anyway.
well, I'm gonna do it anyway. I don't have anything else to go out with.
Oh, gotcha.
There's always the fear when a trend is like happening and you are about to go out with something, but it's like, oh, am I about to miss this?
Yeah.
Because I've missed things before. It doesn't feel good.
Yeah. Well, it's also like for so long it was like, ooh, sexy vampires. Yeah, we're immortal and we're being sexy, and like that was kind of it. And now I'm like, give me some like, or it was like deep dark horror, everything's bad, and like what I'm like, give me some like vampire rom-coms. Give me some like goofy
Yeah.
just like making stuff up as they go. Like give me some cool like existential vampires like pulling a heist. I don't know, just like something. I think that could be fun.
I want books that can be comped to what we do in the shadows, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vampires in a silly mood.
Vampires, like vampirism is comedy gold. Like what if you fall asleep in a coffin for 100 years and then you're like, why is everybody talking to small shiny bricks that people carry with them all the time? Like, or maybe you're a history teacher vampire and your students are like, oh my god, did you live through the First World War? And they were like, oh no, like I was
Definitely not alive then.
Or like, what if you get a really bad haircut and then you become a vampire? Are you stuck with that bad haircut forever?
There's a book that sold like a year ago. I wish I could remember who it's by. That was, this girl is stuck in her frizzy teenage hair self because she became a vampire as a teen.
Because like that would suck. Like if I got turned into a vampire like right now, all right, fine. You know, I got some tattoos. I have my hair's a nice length. I don't have that much acne. But like if I was 17, I'd be like, are you freaking kidding me?
Have you seen the Twilight theory that the vampires are all wearing wigs because canonically their hair doesn't grow back if it gets pulled out?
That's true. Oh my god. See, write a story about a person who runs a wig shop, and then like vampires and other paranormal creatures are their best customers.
Mm-hmm.
I'd read that.
Truly, every genre. I just want the mundane. I would love just plots that are not. I know they exist. I would love more recommendations for books where the plot is not, if we do this, we're gonna die or the world is gonna end. It's like, what if the wig shop fails? That's pretty dire too. So if anyone has good recs for that, let me know.
So how do you actually do the icing?
Okay, are you piping bag or spooning?
Spooning. I wasn't aware that the piping bag was the thing that we needed. I know it was a thing that existed.
Okay, so just spoon on the frosting however you want. And then let me try this just to see how it works before I recommend it. Okay. Yeah, so it won't be as neat, but if you have your jam, you can just kind of drag it on like this.
Okay.
Like, drag. Goes on bloody. I was pretty sure that would work, but that would have been really embarrassing.
Valerie's giving some vampire book recommendations.
Ooh, thank you.
It looks like we've got one from N. Griswold too.
Phenomenal.
Excellent.
Oh, the Fred the Vampire Accountant. I've heard of that, but I haven't read it. But I want to. It sounds great.
All right. And Griswold's cupcakes are out of the oven. I assume Meg's are approaching coming out of the oven. If they're not already, make sure they cool off enough before you try and put your frosting on. Otherwise, it will melt and slide right off. And then you can I just piped mine on in a little circle with the piping bag because I like doing that because it makes me feel better than people. Not really, because they don't look great. But I did that, and then I piped on the two little. I just did it kind of bulbous up at the top, and then just dragged down the thinner nozzle piping tip, and that's how I got that look. But you can also do it just as nicely with a spoon. Gonna try and eat one of these, and all of my lipstick is gonna get onto it. Oh wait, show me yours, Emma. I missed it.
Yes. It almost looks like it had a face, so it was a little also cute. Just
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's like they aren't very pretty, but they are cute.
Also, if you're in the Discord, feel free to drop pics of your bakes, or if you're doing pumpkins, like Missy Kate is, show us your pumpkin pics. And don't forget, earlier in the chat, I posted Kelly's Discord username. You can add Kelly as a friend, and she can get you added to the Word Nerds Discord.
What do you guys think Megan will do to me if I go just like drop a dozen of these at her front door?
I'll bring them right back to you.
Bring me a dozen of yours.
I'll bring all of yours and a dozen of mine. The worst part of all is we told my husband's coworker to bring desserts.
No.
We weren't thinking. I would love to get good at writing things with piping. I do not currently have the handwriting for it. Okay, Joe Catherine said, I have a mysterious friend named Kelly, but I don't know how to find the invitation. Did you just add Kelly as a friend, Joe Catherine?
Yeah, it's something I have to go and do manually, so
Yeah.
I'm not even sure. I'm trying to do it now, but I don't know how to do it from the app. So.
I wrote help on this one. It's really good jam. I feel like I'd love to taste more of it, but I don't want to mess the vibe up. I know we lost Des. They lost the fight with their internet. So we'll have to see if we can get them to send pics of their final result. How much time do you have left on the pumpkin bread, Rachel?
Like 30 seconds. So
Yes.
yes. But yeah, I'm gonna probably mute this in a couple seconds. So I was gonna say my oven alarm, but like, yeah, my timer doesn't freak everybody out.
One of the great things about the Discord too, I know there's like 10 of you here watching right now, so you're either going to join the Discord or you aren't. But one of the things I am really excited about is that we have the sprint bots in there, so we can do like writing sprints without having to like, have my face on a camera. And it's really easy. And so I'm doing Nano. I have no clue what I'm doing in Nano, but I'm doing it. And so I'm really excited to be in there kind of from day one of Nano, doing sprints in the sprint channel. Oh, I have a very important question for anyone who's not too busy. So my new job, I've been working on it for a couple months. I'm pretty well trained in everything. I pretty well know what I need to do, which means I can watch TV while I do it now, because it's like programming and support stuff. Which means I've cranked through TV so fast. Like I'm through my entire to be watch list. So if any of you have any TV or movie recommendations, please hit me with them.
I just recently finished the first season of White Lotus on HBO because it like won like all those awards for like limited series. Yeah, and it was really good.
Okay.
You know what I watched recently that I actually enjoyed a lot and did not expect to enjoy is
What?
HBO Max's Harley Quinn show.
Ooh.
Which I did not expect to like because it like I don't really love crude humor and like I could tell there was kind of going to be some gratuitous violence, which is also not my thing. But it's like at its core, like this show about like Harley getting back at a bad ex-boyfriend, and I really resonated with
Very
that.
your jam.
Very my jam. Also, I just finished the 3rd season, which is when like the Bat family, so Batgirl and Nightwing kind of become a little bit more part of the show. I love Nightwing as a character, one of my all-time favorite characters, and he's voiced. He's really well done in the show. I really like their take on him, but he's voiced by one of the guys from What We Do in the Shadows.
I was about to say, is that the one Harvey Guillen is in?
It is, and he was great.
That reminds me, he's in a Comedy Central horror movie that I really want to watch.
So no TV shows are coming to mind, although that may change. I think what I might do instead is send you my to be watched list, and you can tell me what is.
Yes, please do. I finally, Severance was like the last one on my list. Des had told me to watch it ages ago, and I started it, and I wasn't in the right headspace. But this time I was, and I watched every episode in like a 2-day period, and my dreams were weird after that, but it was so good.
With like 3 cupcakes left, my piping tip like popped out of my bag. I guess the rest will not have bloody fingers.
I'm trying to like salvage the rest of the jam from this piping bag because my husband made bread this week, and I would love the jam on toast.
The HBO Golden Compass. I started, never went back to. Heard good things. The final season's coming soon.
And Griswold and Storytelling Snick have both made recommendations that I totally forgot were on my list. Dark, which I watched an episode of years ago, and I was like, I'm not ready to make this my personality. And then Interview with the Vampire, which I've heard so many good things about.
Ooh, yeah, we watched the new one.
I started watching and mean to go back to The Imperfects on Netflix. Like it's kind of in the realm of like sci-fi with a little bit of like kookiness to it that like similar. I'd maybe comp it to like The Umbrella Academy, not so much in terms of content, but just in terms of like tone.
Have you watched Arcane?
No. What is that?
It's a Netflix animated show that's based off of like a video game. Not even sure which one, but I've seen it on so many TikTok like favorite series that you didn't expect to like kind of lists, and just like I've heard people talk about it being phenomenal. So if you could let me know if it is, that'd be great.
Yeah. It's a good cupcake. I wish I hadn't forgotten the salt in it, but it's a good cupcake. We've got confirmation from Valerie. Arcane is good.
So good.
And Griswold also enjoyed Watchmen and Hannibal.
I watched the first couple episodes of the Watchmen show, but I never finished it.
Yeah, Watchmen's been on my list for a long time, and it's like a standalone, short, limited series.
Also, Sandman.
I was literally about to ask if anyone watched Sandman and if it was good.
It's so good. Okay, I never watch anything ever, and I blew through this. I loved it so much. That's just a game. I was like, wow, it is like also Neil Gaiman. Highly recommend.
And that just got renewed, right? They're gonna do another season.
I don't know. That's a bit of a rumor. Like I've seen people do like fake outs, like it was renewed, and like follow for more jokes, and I'm like, I don't know if I don't think that's. I don't know, but I hope it is. So I really want it to be.
Let's see. Yeah.
Megan, have you watched Barry?
I haven't watched the newest season because it was a show I watched with my dad, and so I know I'm gonna love it, but my daddy issues won't allow it at this point in time. But I do hope to go back to it at some point.
I haven't finished the new season yet. So.
Yeah. Is it good so far?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Of course,
Because
continues.
the season
to be
2 ending
bonkers.
was wild.
Yeah. And so it continues to be.
One of my friends just sent me this thing on Instagram. It's a Twitter post, but it says, "First day as a vampire hunter." Lol, this is easy. First night as a vampire hunter. Oh no.
That's the kind of energy I want in my vampire stories.
Yeah.
The jam is difficult. It's so clumpy.
What's clumpy?
Jam.
Oh. It does like to be like that. If it's being too clumpy, you could probably like warm it up a little and give it a good mix. But blood does clot, so you know.
Attention to detail. I like it. All right. Calling this one good enough to show the world.
Yes, I love it. Joe Catherine said, I'm enjoying the Lore podcast. I adore the series. I feel like I watched that. I really think I watched Lore, but I cannot quite remember. Is that the one that it was like kind of episodic? I mean, that's a silly question. If it's a podcast, of course it's episodic. I thought I watched it on Prime for some reason. So maybe I'm thinking of something different. Thanks, Anne Griswold. I got this when an artist I follow was like, I have some vintage stuff I'm going to sell on Depop. I got it for $5. The best purchase of the year.
Very happy to announce I have both pumpkin bread and soup.
Yay!
Yes,
It's been a good evening.
so well-rounded.
Hell yeah.
I have only dessert. There will be no sustenance.
Honestly, the best way to go.
We can wrap pretty much whenever, so Megan doesn't have to continue vamping with the rest of us. Vamping, haha.
Hat. Well, yeah, thank you so much to everyone for being here. I'm gonna give us like 5 minutes to wrap up, actually. Because we haven't gotten confirmation from the people who are baking along that they're at the beginning to decorate point, and I want to be with them for that. I have brought you all on this journey. I like went on mute when I went to make the cupcakes, and I told my husband, I was like, I'm afraid they're gonna hate me after this, and no one's gonna want to bake again.
No, this has been awesome.
Okay.
Honestly.
No, I think I'm just thrown because my brain still isn't used to the fact that we start at 8.
Oh.
So it's a long chat, but it's not a 2.5 hour long chat.
And even if it was, we get food. It's fine.
So true. And tomorrow's Halloween. And the older I get, the more excited I get about Thanksgiving. Not because of like the meaning of the holiday, but I just think it's fun to be like, I'm just gonna stay home and make all the foods that I like. And like one food that I'm meh about, but all the foods that I like. So after Halloween, I can start menu planning for Thanksgiving. Maybe there will still be leftovers by the time Kelly gets here.
I would love that. The closest I will come to an American Thanksgiving, I believe.
Honestly, the leftovers are the true Thanksgiving like
The real
experience.
MVPs, yeah.
I feel like
Why
if I have
don't
to
the
like
potatoes
fly on American Thanksgiving weekend, I should get Thanksgiving food.
You
Feels
should.
like how that works in the universe.
Joe Catherine said, can't wait to eat gravy straight out of the ladle. Meg asked, when frosting with a piping bag, should I start in the middle or at the edge? It doesn't really matter. I start at the edge and just kind of went, just like,
If you want the little peak at the top, you have to start on the edge.
mm.
This is giving me second thoughts of like the next kind of thing like this that we have planned is a paint night, but I like volunteered and was pumped to do it before I realized I was going to be in Florida when that happened.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. But I really want to do a paint night at some point. I just don't know if it'll be that week. It's kind of this kind of energy, but a lot more creative control and chaos.
Yeah.
Comes up with.
We've got like 2 chats in December, right? We could just swap them.
Misty K just posted in the Discord some pictures of her pumpkins. These slap. Oh my god, they're so cool.
What I say?
Loading. Those are so cool. They look amazing.
Yes.
Wow. That's so cool.
Andrew said, once again, baking night has proven that I will watch you all do anything. This is fun. I agree. I always have a lot of fun just chilling out on baking night.
Also, I know people are watching these, so I'm more likely to actually do the thing. And people holding me accountable.
I can't bail halfway through the cupcakes and be like, I'll finish them tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think I have a cake in my freezer that I made like last Christmas that I was like, I don't feel like frosting this. I'll come back to it. And it's still in the freezer. I should probably get rid of it, but I don't know. Maybe it's still okay.
People like freeze their wedding cake for like a year and then eat
Oh,
it.
yeah,
on
I
their
did that.
anniversary, So yeah.
Texture was a little funny, but otherwise it was fine.
The dog.
There's Bruno. He's gonna unhook my phone.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I get to see him run into something. His vet said, and I quote, "He's really bad at being blind."
Hey,
We're
we
so
all
proud.
can't be winners.
Yeah. But he's very cute, so he does have that.
It was like my biggest hype moment of coming to visit. I was like, I get to meet Bruno.
Yes. We
Also your children.
yeah, he's good too, I guess. Yeah, our guest room now has his crate in it too, because we bought him a crate because he was getting some like separation anxiety, and we're like, oh, it'll be fine. We'll crate train him. The first day went really badly, and it turned out the crate we got wasn't strong enough, and he like chewed through it and like messed up his face a little bit, and it was really upsetting and sad. So we bought a different crate that was described on the internet as the Fort Knox of dog crates. And now that he can't get out of it, the separation anxiety is not so bad. He's slowly working it out. It's great, but it does take up a lot of space in the guest room.
Okay.
But he's a good boy. He loves attention. When we got Bruno, he was quite sick, and they weren't sure what his age was because he was newly blind, had heartworm, very depressed dog. And so they're like, could be 7, could be 13, who knows? But now that he's all better and getting used to things, we can like take him on walks, and he like prances with his little puppy paws. It's so cute.
So have they updated the like guess on how old he is?
We guessed around 8, and they didn't contradict us. So looks like he's not a final resting place kind of dog, which is what my mom was like, are you ready if he's like a soft place to end dog?
Yeah.
But he's never gonna die, and I'm never gonna be sad again.
He just had old man vibes, which I'm sure he found very
Yeah.
relatable.
All right. Well, I think people are probably wrapping up on their decorating, so I'm gonna start to talk us out here. Thank you so much for watching. This has been really fun. It's great to chat with you all. Be sure to add Kelly on the Discord if you want to be on the Discord. And yeah, we will be here starting next Sunday. Write-ins every Sunday of National Novel Writing Month. So come ready to write, and it will be a great chaotic time, I'm sure. Yeah. See you all then.
Bye.
Bye.